you can see that I am currently sitting at over $113,000 since the launch of my program. Now, what I will say about that $113,000 is that a good significant portion of that, in terms of like when I first started out, was actually made in my first month. The first month that I launched my program, I made over $14,000. And I honestly, looking back, don't think that that was by accident. I think there was a lot of things that went into me being very intentional in regards to being able to get that program off of the ground and ultimately getting to a point where I was able to have a launch that was successful in terms of making $14,000. Now, this is not to be confused with the current channel that I'm posting this video on. This is associated with my other channel, the Business Recruiter, and the Recruiting Agency Accelerator program that I put together in regards to that channel. However, I'm here to tell you that you can ultimately do this with any niche that's in demand. So this is not strictly focused on just recruiting. In this video, I'm going to dive into some of the things that I did in order to have a $14,000 launch with less than 1,000 subscribers on that channel. Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Natasha here with Subscribers to Clients, where I talk about all things business, finance, and personal growth. This channel is basically to talk about all of the success that I've received on my other channel, the Business Recruiter, and share with you all of the tips, tricks, and learning lessons that I got from being able to get that channel off of the ground, being able to get it to monetization, as well as being able to earn over $100,000 in revenue so far from launching a program that was associated with that channel. Now, if you're interested in learning more about how I was able to do those things, then I definitely encourage you to go down below, hit that subscribe button, as well as that bell so that you can get notified of all of my videos that do drop weekly. But for now, let's hop into today's video. So when I initially started my other YouTube channel, I will be very transparent in that I did not think that it was going to be successful. I mean, when you think about it, there are so many YouTube channels that are out there that just don't ever see any sort of success, but there's also a lot of stories out there where you do think that it's going to be successful. For me, I started my YouTube channel on the premise that I just wanted to get the information out there. In regards to recruiting, I consider it to be a passion of mine, so I wanted to maybe see if there was valuable information that I could put out there for others who maybe were interested in the same exact thing. Now, I will say is that I did a lot of research, so I knew that there was an interest in regards to recruiting because there were other YouTubers out there who were posting videos about their tips and tricks. But I wanted to come on the scene and I wanted to make sure that I was able to provide my perspective or my perception on how I had been able to be successful in the recruiting space. Now, I don't want to get too much into recruiting because a lot of you probably are not interested in that topic whatsoever, but maybe you have your own topic that you are interested in. Maybe you love finance and you love talking about stocks and you love talking about investing, and you think that that's something that you could do really well on YouTube in terms of starting a channel. Or maybe you're along the lines of, really liking beauty and makeup and skincare, and you really want to talk about those things in terms of you starting a YouTube channel. Whatever it is, I am here to tell you that you can absolutely do it. And part of it is making sure that you're doing the research to see, is it an in-demand niche that's already thriving on YouTube? And for me, I knew that recruiting was one of those niches that was already thriving. So I knew that when I started, although I didn't necessarily expect that I was going to receive a lot of success, I still knew that I would get some views in regards to being able to make an impact and putting information out there. When I finally decided that I wanted to start my own program that was going to be associated with recruiting, again, it was still under the same lines or the same premise. I wanted to get the information out there and I wanted to do it in a more organized or packaged way with YouTube. Although, it's really focused on long form content, you can't necessarily get all of the information that you want into a 10-minute video. And granted, you can do an hour-long video or a 10-hour-long video if you want, but you might actually lose your audience. So with that, I really wanted a more formalized way in order to be able to connect with those individuals who really did want some more information in regards to starting their own recruitment agencies, which was associated with my niche. Now, I think I was actually close to 1,000 subscribers when I actually decided to launch my recruiting agency accelerator program, but I do not think that I was quite there. But for me, I knew that if I actually waited in order to, have the right amount of subscribers or to have more success or views on my channel, then I was ultimately just delaying what was the inevitable, which was at some point I just needed to get started. And I didn't want to wait to get started for things to be perfect, because honestly, things were never going to be perfect. So when I started, I had already gone through the opportunity to do beta testing for the program and to get an idea of what content my viewers, really wanted. Like, what did they want information on in regards to my particular niche? And ultimately, what were they willing to pay for? So when I did this, I was very strategic and methodical in regards to making sure that I had all of the components that I had learned within my beta program actually within my final program that I was able to create. Now, I do want to take a couple minutes to actually walk you through my sales page in regards to how I was ultimately able to get to that point of having a $14,000 launch the very first month of executing on my program. So as you can see, this is the recruiting agency accelerator coaching program for the business recruiter sales page. Enrollment is currently closed, but you still have the opportunity to check out all of the information. So if you actually scroll down, it goes into a video of me really talking about the benefits of the program, and it also talks about what you will get from working with me. If you continue to scroll down, you'll see that throughout this sales page, there's multiple opportunities for individuals to join the waitlist. Again, enrollment is currently closed as of right now, but they can join the waitlist, and then the next time the program does open up again, they have the opportunity to opt in and join. From there, I have other elements that are associated with my sales page that I really think helps to bring it home in regards to the value or the benefit of being able to actually work with me. So if you take a look at what you actually get in terms of the program, it's 12 weeks long. I talk about the things that you're able to do. I talk about, again, some of the other benefits that are associated with it, the fact that we have live group coaching calls. I also go into all of the information in regards to the modules that you'll have the opportunity to go through and exactly what content is within each of those individual modules. There are actually 8 different modules as of right now. There's also a module that contains all of the contract templates that I do in regards to the business, as well as, again, they get the opportunity to have live coaching calls with me. I go into more information about what those live coaching calls will consist of. And then again, I have more information about who I am, my background. I have some reviews in regards to individuals who have already gone through the program before. And then more information on just, if this program isn't, right for you, or if it is right for you, then here are some of the things that you want to consider. And then ultimately, I have the opportunity in regards to you being able to join the waitlist. I do, towards the bottom, have the information in regards to the pricing for my program. Keep in mind that I am always taking a look at this because I think that there's always an opportunity to just analyze where you are from a pricing perspective, but I ultimately break down exactly how much it is to be able to either have a one-on-one call with me or a consultation call, how much it is to just have the program, and then how much the program is, as well as with the live group option as well. And then again, opportunities for you to be able to join the waiting list. And then there's also some FAQs in here. Again, I do have a 30-day money back guarantee. So it allows individuals the opportunity to really go through, show me that you're actually trying, at least, with the program before you just say, hey, I don't want to do this at all. And then again, more FAQs in regards to the additional information. There are some more reviews in regards to individuals who have gone through my program and the level of success that they've been able to get. So again, there's just a ton of information that's included within this sales page, and it just continues to go on and on in regards to being able to provide you with information. And I truly think that having this sales page was the reason as to why I was able to make $14,000 in 1 month when I actually did launch my program. I know a lot of times that people don't really think about the fact of your personal brand and professionalism really being key elements, because they're so simple, but they really are key elements that you need to make sure that you have in order to be able to launch any successful program, whether it's in recruiting, whether it's in personal finance in terms of stocks or investing, whether it's you talking about makeup or beauty or, whatever that topic is or whatever that niche is that you want to focus on, you want to make sure that you're able to have it out to the world in the most professional way possible. This is how they know that you're serious and that you mean business and that ultimately you're putting something together that is of quality. If you take a look at this, you can say, okay, if this is just a sales page, oh my goodness, like what am I going to get in the actual program? Like it's going to be great because there's going to be so much quality that's put into that program. And that's really the sentiment that you want to be able to get from potential buyers who will be interested in purchasing something from you. You also want to make sure that you're able to sell them on like the value that they're going to get. And when I say sell them on that value, I don't mean that in a negative connotation in any way. I mean, you want to be very transparent in regards to what are they going to get by paying X amount of dollars for your program, and ultimately, providing them with examples of others who have gone through their similar journey and have had some level of success. Again, it's not guaranteed. Ultimately, individuals have to put in their own level of work in order to be successful with any form of a launch, but you want to make sure that you're able to get to a point where you're providing them with as much transparency as possible. And transparency also comes from you making sure that you have testimonials. Now, I know that I've shown my sales page before, but I'm going to go ahead and show it to you again. Taking a look at when I launched my program, it was September of 2022. So September of last year. And I was able to make exactly $14,285 that month. That was my most successful month since I had launched the program. Now, I will say that I haven't quite gotten there in terms of another month that's been able to hit $14,000, but I have consistently had a lot of months where I was making at least a minimum of $10,000. Just like anything, you have to understand that your business is going to ebb and flow. So you're going to have some really great months, and you might also have some months that are down. You also might be in a phase where you're experimenting, and I definitely encourage that you do experiment in the very beginning, not only with pricing, but with your content and ultimately how you're able to get the program out there. During certain points of actually launching the program, I started to do webinars, but maybe that's something that you want to do in the very beginning of your launch. Ultimately, you have full autonomy over what the success is going to look like in terms of your program and also what you want to include within that program. The other thing that I'll say before we go ahead and close out this video is that it's important that you really do keep in mind the content. Just because you want to talk about stocks does not mean that you're going to be able to put together a great program. What is the value that you're going to bring to your customer in regards to talking about stocks? What's the new thing, or what's the, secret sauce that you're going to bring to the table that's going to want to make them purchase what it is that you're putting out there? So again, the topic of stocks isn't new. This topic of recruiting isn't new, but what is it about you and the information that you have that's going to make that individual want to pay that price in order to get access to that information? So that's something very important that you do want to keep in mind when you're thinking about starting your program. Again, this is applicable for any niche. If I'm able to do this on just recruiting, I can only imagine some of the bigger niches that are out there like stocks or makeup or beauty, where how much income you can actually be able to bring in. More than anything else, consistency is what needs to be able to drive you to success here, as well as also having valuable content. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, then be sure to give me a thumbs up, as well as if you're not in our STC Facebook group, then I'm going to go ahead and leave that link down below in the description box, because we're in there talking about all things related to you being able to get your YouTube channel or your business off of the ground. It's a great community, so I highly encourage that you join. And if you're also looking for a free resource on how you can really start to think through putting your programs together, then I've got you covered. I have created a free resource that you can take a look at that really goes step by step on all of the elements that you need in order to be able to put your program together. I hope that you found this video to be helpful, and I'll catch you in the next one.